We are back here in North Little Rock at Simmons Arena for the Rookie Championship, where we will get to see the future of timber sports. Thanks for joining us again for STIHL Timbersports U.S. Championships 2021. I'm Tommy Sanders here with Kevin Holtz. And Kevin, something special coming up right now. A look into the future of competition in the sport we love so much. It's the Rookie Championships.
Yeah, our rookie division is a new addition this year. It's kind of the natural evolution out of the college ranks, but not quite ready for the professional ranks. And with that transition, in addition to the regular collegiate disciplines, we've added a springboard event, a single board springboard, but again, a natural transition out of college ranks into the professional ranks. A great group of talented under 25-year-old rookie athletes. Watch for Will Kramer, William Chamberlain, Darby Hand, all top-notch in their division, and they want to etch their names into our professional ranks.
We started with 16. We are down to 8, ready to go to contest their championship, the rookies. First discipline is the stock saw.
The STIHL stock saw, two competitors going head-to-head with identically tuned MS661 chainsaws. After a 15-second warm-up, all 8 fingers must be crossing that line. On go, with speed, they retrieve the saw. With precision, they enter the saw into the wood. Listening to the RPMs, feeling the saw cutting through the wood, severing that first clean disc. Then, the perfect transition, and again, with precision, entering the log for the upcut. Hopefully seeing 2 complete discs on the ground, and of course this 4-inch line remaining for a leader cut.
5 disciplines in our rookie finals here today. This is the first of them, the stock saw. This is heat number 1. Tristan Van Beek on stand number 1 and Cole Schlinker on stand 2.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, trouble on stand 2. Grabs the chain brake, doesn't engage the chain brake, but had to re-grip, and a very thin cut on stand number 1 from Tristan. Look at Cole reeling him back in, though. Really solid comeback after a rocky start. Let's go back and take a look here from Cole. You see there, there's a matter of inches between the back of that chain brake and the front of the handle, and it's very common to see competitors, especially in our rookie group. These guys are shaking off the nerves, and they'll come down and catch that. Worst case scenario is you hit the back of that chain brake hard enough to engage it. Now you're picking up a saw with the chain brake engaged, and it presents a whole new set of challenges.
Cole, your cutting time was so fast in the wood, but you had a little trouble retrieving the saw.
Yeah, just nerves. But, I got into it, just didn't want to give it too much pressure, but put some cuts down and all good.
What's it like landing from Ketchikan, Alaska at 2 a.m., gathering your composure to compete in the STIHL Timbersports Finals?
Probably wouldn't have slept a whole lot anyway, so it's all right. I'm just happy to be here and really excited.
All right, good luck today.
Thank you.
It was the whole range of emotions there in about a 1-second video clip, a fist pump. He got 2 cuts off, and then the realization that his time is not going to be as good as it could have been by grabbing that chain brake.
Cole Schlinker's time 11.26. Official time for Tristan Van Beek 11.45. Stock saw heat number 2, a New England rivalry. Kyle Whitmore of Maine up against Benjamin Carlson from Connecticut.
3, 2, 1, go!
Both these guys to the block in unison. They both seem to have good straight cuts out of the gate. A little bit thinner on stand number 2. That's going to put a little less side pressure on the chain. Might have been the difference right there. Ben Carlson, alumnus of SUNY ESF in Syracuse, New York. Let's go back and watch this run from Ben again here on stand number 2. Feet planted, body position solid. Large stream of debris coming out of the back of that MS661. Every once in a while you see a bit of a burp, a little extra bonus material come out of the back of that saw. That tells you you are right at the limit of what that saw will produce. It's a little bit of a clot, if you will. You see too many of those clots start coming out and something's going to jam up.
Ben, you and I talked prior to the show. Your favorite event is the springboard and the single buck. Who knew you've got the stock saw in you as well? You weren't the fastest to the wood, but you made up in the cutting.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time training stock saw with the 661, and that's been a pattern of mine, being a little bit slow to the wood. But once I'm in there, I'm pretty quick on the transition. So a little thin on the second cookie, but It was good.
You go thin to win. We're still waiting on your unofficial time. You'll be first or second. We'll get the results in a moment.
Thank you.
There's your official time, sub 11 for Ben Carlson at 10.89, and he takes over the lead for Kyle Whitmore at 11.35. Heat number 3 on stand 1 is going to be Alec Parsons from North Carolina, Will Kramer from California. Going to be on stand number 2, time to beat 10.89, a new rookie record laid down by Ben Carlson.
Yeah, 10.89, Tommy. That's a professional grade time, and we see times in the 10s. You're doing something. You'd be placing.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Will Kramer was quick to the saw, hesitated a bit at the top. Oh, I can hear stand number 1. Too heavy. Too much freight on that saw, and it really was pulling down. Will's going to take that heat pretty handily, and I think our 10.89, our rookie national record, is safe, at least for this heat. Here's a look at Will Kramer. He was quick down to that saw, and there's just a nanosecond, a split second of hesitation at the top while he kind of gained his composure, got lined up straight, put the saw in the block. It's amazing how those will add up. And as these guys train and as they learn, that's where they'll continue to refine, and they'll start shaving off tenths and hundredths of a second. Well, it looks like Alec Parsons lost a contact lens, but that's not the case. He's desperately searching for missing shards, missing fragments to that cookie to prove to our judges that he did, in fact, make a complete cut.
Will, a blistering time in the stocks, scary for the field. If they heard what you just said, you said, well, I went conservative, and you're still very close to a rookie world record.
Well, I was just trying to make sure I got a complete cut on that, and that way, or at least try to get in the middle of the pack and see where it takes me from there.
Especially with the Springboard being added this year, you have to think about those points adding up.
Oh yeah, and Springboard's the one I gotta really focus on to make a good solid cut today.
We'll let you focus. We're waiting on that time. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Well, Rich, you're the head judge. First event of the day, you've already got a challenge. Talk about what you were looking at the upcut on stand number 1.
Yeah, so we need 2 complete discs on the deck, and on one of the discs we had something that looked incomplete. It was really close. We went back to the high definition video that we have, and we could actually see the bar through the disc on that upcut. So unfortunately, it's a disqualification.
How many frames per second are we looking at?
We're looking at 60 frames per second on that video for judging and timing, and then we have another one at 100 frames per second.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
So a DQ for Alec Parsons. Will Kramer's time, a good one, 11.07, puts him into second place behind our leader, Ben Carlson, and 10.891 heat remaining. Final heat of the stock saw. This is going to be Wisconsin's Darby Hand on stand number 1, and Will Chamberlain on stand 2 makes his home in Pigeon Forge, a former site of STIHL Timbersports National Championships.
3, 2, 1, go!
Clear advantage on stand number 1. Quick to the wood, heavy through the wood. Fast, though, on stand number 2. Trouble at the switch, though, for Will. He recognized the issue. It's a good heads-up play. It's amazing how it can be difficult to detect you're only cutting a portion of that cookie. Let's take a look at Will here. He gets up to the block. Nice, straight, smooth, clean cut. Actually, he's running into the wood a little bit. That may be what set him up for trouble. And then instead of bringing the saw over square, he kind of moved the motor over, moved the power head over, but the nose of the bar stayed outside the block. It would have been an incomplete cut, but he makes the correction. Look at this tabletop on stand number 1 from Darby Hand. Don't get your toes under that when it hits the stage. Doesn't leave him a whole lot of room to work with. That Judge Rich Hallett did go over and inspect, though. Look at Darby running the nose of that bar way back into the block. Rips off the top of that cut.
Second time in the STIHL Timbersports Finals. You just laid down a smoking time in that stock saw. I like the one-hand grab, and you said you've been training with the Slingerlands. Did that help you get that fast time?
Oh, absolutely. Every time we go to train, that's the first thing we do. We all practice stock saw, we all take times, and we just race it out. And that one, I cut a first disc pretty thick. It was, I'd say, at least 2 inches thick. And I mean, I pulled it off on that upcut, but it could have been faster, but I'm still happy with that time.
Well, it could have been faster. I got some news for you, though, buddy. That's a brand new rookie world record at 10.4.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We'll let you go.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations.
Well, I don't know if it's the water here or not, but new national records don't hang around very long here. A couple of heats ago, Ben Carson set a new one with 10.89. Darby Hand in the final heat with a 10.40. Now, the new national stock saw record that gives him top points as well. Ben Carson, Will Kramer, Cole Schlinker rounding out our top 4. STIHL Timber Sports is sponsored by STIHL, maker of a full line of gasoline and battery-powered handheld outdoor power equipment. Find yours at stihlusa.com. By the Duluth Trading Company, the official workwear of STIHL Timber Sports. By Ace Hardware. Ace is the helpful place. And by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer.
Athlete versus tree. Their goal, sever a 12-inch log. This is a standing block. The standing block mimics felling a tree with a racing axe as fast as possible. When the gun fires, you have to chop halfway through the log. In order to do that, know the log, be familiar with your equipment. The best athletes will put 10 to 12 hits in the front. The elite athlete will put 6 to 7 hits in the front. The turn is a 4-step motion with speed, minding the chips on the ground which you've removed. Run to the backside with no hesitation. Open up the back with confidence, making a split decision. Do I take another chip for safety, or do I have the confidence to drive this log off?
Standing block heat number 1 on the left. Stand number 1, Cole Schlinker coming in here in 4th place after 1 discipline. And runner-up in total overall steal points right now, Ben Carlson, Ben Carlson on stand 2.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
I actually got to watch Cole cut a standing block earlier this summer just by happenstance. He knows a guy that I know. Then everybody's hanging out chopping wood, and I got to tell you, he's got a really good, clean, opening face going. The front side of this log goes around to the back to a 2-and-2. Corners of that block just ripe for hits. He's gonna be driving this thing off here. Got to reach to the far side.
Wow!
Wow! I'm watching stand number 1, but stand number 2, Ben Carlson reeled him in with a huge front face on that block. See there on stand number 1 on your left, driving blows going in, as is now on stand number 2. A lot of timber for both of these guys. Ultimately, it's going to go to Cole Schlinker on stand number 1. Rookie competitors driving timber. Like, don't call me rookie.
Yeah,
rookie.
yeah. Who you calling rookie?
Cole, great cut in the standing block. How'd you feel?
Feel great. Nerves are working out a little bit. Front side, just nervous, and I just knew I was in control, turning the back, and felt very comfortable.
All right, good job.
Thank you.
Cole Schlinker taking that heat with a 25.20. Very close race, 25.42. Second place is Ben Carlson. Heat number 2 trying to beat a 25.20 laid down by Cole Schlinker. In heat number 1, Will Chamberlain makes his home in Tennessee here to compete. And former Cal Poly team member Will Kramer on stand 2.
3, 2, 1, go!
Both these guys coming out, settling in. Will Chamberlain on stand number 1 opens 1-and-1 and then is off to a blistering pace in the front of the block. Drives near, drives far, around to the back. Gonna go 1-and-1 again in the back. That chip hanging though, a bit of a distraction. He is running away with this heat and running away with the time. Driving is Will Chamberlain, sub 20-second time. Let's go back and take another look at Will Chamberlain making the turn to the backside of the log. Remember, he had not such a great stock saw run, had to double clutch and reshoot his upcut. You can take that frustration, take that energy and use it for good or evil. He does a whole lot of good in this standing block chop. Watch this last blow from Will Chamberlain. Chase right down through that slit you saw in the block. That's great accuracy, that's great slope. That's what we need to see across the board from everybody. Just the efficiency to not have to double cut, to not break the block off. clean slice, chased that last hit in beautifully.
Will, you had a tough run in the stock saw, but in this sport, it's really how you answer a bad event. You just answered with a beautiful standing block. Talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't just answering for that stock saw. That was for my qualifier standing two. I jumped the gun there, so I came into this with a lot of motivation to get that block off pretty quick.
All right, keep that motivation going. Good job.
Thanks, Dave.
Impressive time there for Will Chamberlain, a 19.02. Will Kramer, second in the heat, 25.01. Standing block heat number 3, fresh from setting a new national record. In stock saw, Darby Hand. Of course, first in points as it stands now as well. He's on stand 1, going against Alec Parsons on stand 2.
3, 2, 1, go!
Parsons with a less than ideal cut in the stock saw finds himself in a big points deficit. Going to try to cash in here on the standing block. Opening well, great slope, following lines. All looks according to plan and in sync with Darby Hand over on stand number 1, our current points leader. Darby going to drive, but coming in flat, just muscles that block off. Parsons just a blow or two behind. Let's take a look at this run from Darby Hand. Up drivers in, bail on the front side of that log. He did step down the top of that block a little bit, so he's doesn't have that fresh open air to drive into on the back.
Like Darby, you had a smoking run. You won the stock saw. You just backed it up with a tremendous cut in the standing.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I didn't think it was that tremendous. I had a chip hang in the front. Had to lay the bottom, the 2 down hits in the front real flat. I was about to pinch. And then on my turn, I didn't open quite wide enough. I could have maybe pulled it off in 6, but yeah, I stepped on a chip as I turned, so I had to kick that out of my way and off balance, but yeah, it went good. I think it'll have a decent time in the standing, so.
You got big steel points. Keep it going. Good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Darby Hand, a good run there, could not overcome that time. Still number 1, Will Chamberlain with a 19.02, 19.27 for Hand, and Alec Parsons pulls up in third with a 21.48. Final heat, time to beat still Will Chamberlain's 19.02. New Englander Kyle Whitmore, West Coast guy Tristan Van Beek. Van Beek on stand number 2, Whitmore on 1.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
A lot of foot movement from Whitmore, but he got it settled in as he's waiting for that go. He was dancing around quite a lot. I was worried he had a little bit of nervous energy, but he's settled in, putting in a clean face. Van Beek around, a little bit of a rough go in the front side of that log, but he's got the opportunity now to reset a clean face. He's driving. There it is. Van Beek just posted our new time to beat. Go back and look at this run from Tristan Van Beek. He was on stand number 2 on the right side of the stage. Stepped up his near up hit, and that pinched him out a little bit. He ran out of cuttable wood, bailed out of it, and went to work on the back. Nice, big, wide open face, loads of slope, and then he just brings it. He rains down a series of drivers, cracks that near side. You can just see that block twist a little bit, and that's so critical. That opens that window for that final drive blow on the far side of the block. Should have a good vantage point from this angle. He's gonna come back in one more. Yeah, there's a far driver, then he'll go near, and you just see the top of that block twist. Just a little bit of opening. Clears it beautifully.
Apparently the cameramen know more than I know. They said that guy smoked it in his qualifier. Buddy, I wasn't watching you close enough. You just won the standing block. Roughly 17 seconds, but it looks like you could have cut faster on that front side.
Yeah, I could have definitely cut faster. Cut 18 seconds in my qualifier. Kind of slopped the front face in there and know what I did wrong on the backside, cleaned it up, put some slope on it, and drove it off, you know.
It's a beautiful time. We're waiting for the official time. Keep going with that momentum.
Thank you very much, Dave.
The record just fell. Tristan Van Beek taking the top points in the standing block with a new record time of 18.27. Beats a great effort by Will Chamberlain, Darby Hand as well. Alec Parsons rounding out the top 4 in standing block. There are your overall points after 2 disciplines. Darby Hand with that big effort there on top with 14 points, 3 ahead of Tristan Van Beek, Will Kramer, and Will Chamberlain. As we move into our next event, here's Dave Jewett with our Duluth Trading Company Discipline Review.
On go, you want to go full speed on a push or a pull stroke using the entire saw. It's a 2 to 3 peg and raker. The pegs are the teeth. They cut the wood. The rakers clean the wood. You want to use the full saw, cutting on the forward stroke, cutting on the back stroke, using every muscle in your body from your toes all the way up to your head, driving the saw with confidence through the entire log. If you deviate from your technique, you can dive a raker into the wood, bringing you to a sudden stop. Then you have to regain that momentum, losing time.
Swing into the single buck, some big time sawing coming up. Heat number 1 is going to be Cole Schlinker. He stands 7 out of 8 total points so far. Looking to step it up and put his best effort out there. Will Chamberlain is 4th coming into this.
Time a bigger factor than ever for our competitors. They get 1 minute to get that starting curve in, get their feet positioned, foot blocks, all that stuff. And there's the whistle from our head judge.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Lots of angle on the saw on stand number 1 from Cole Schlenker. Will Chamberlain, stand number 2. That looks like more my style sawing, a little bit flatter, letting the weight of that plate carry it down through. Trouble on stand number 1, though. Hanging rakers. Cole drives it off in the end. Not sure what was going wrong there. Some angle changes. Too many angle changes will actually generate a point, like the point of a triangle in the middle of that block. The teeth will hang on it every single time. A little trouble off the start for Will Chamberlain, that small wood. Again, a lot of pressure. Man, that saw is cutting. Look at the noodles just spewing out of the front side of that block. Gets into the middle of the wood. Now that force from each tooth is distributed across the block, dragging a lot of material. I have to say that maybe Will need to saw tuned a little bit differently for him, or I'm not sure what's going on. I've seen him run a lot faster and a lot smoother, but that saw just seemed like it was absolutely dragging him down, and he never really got his momentum rolling.
Will, I know you could have cut better in a sport where you have to wait up to 4 to 5 years to get a single buck saw, considering they are hand filed. You ran a saw that wasn't yours. You said it's a little too aggressive for you.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't know enough to tell, but I think that I heard that was what the case was. The only saw I own is missing 2 teeth, so I definitely wasn't going to run that here. Thankfully, Josh Wilson let me borrow his, and I think with a little bit more time and practice, I'll be able to run any saw better no matter what.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Dave.
Will Chamberlain on top in heat number 1 with the 13.60, and Cole Schlinker 18.57. Heat number 2 of the single buck. Bears watching. We are right smack dab in the middle of our competition here, and we got a matchup between numbers 1 and 2. In total points, Darby Hand on stand number 2, number 1 position. Tristan Van Beek in 2nd, going on stand 1.
3, 2, 1, go!
Tristan getting some help from Cassidy Shear, some coaching, some prompting. But look at Darby Hand over on stand number 2. He is motoring down through this block. Oh, hang at the bottom, another hang at the bottom. Now Tristan's hanging. There's disaster all over the stage at the bottom of these logs. Remember, these are our top 2 points earners going head to head. Back and watch this run. We're looking at Darby Hand on stand number 2. The thing is peaches and cream at the top of this log, all the way through the middle, looking still strong. Get to the bottom 1/8 of this log. This is where things start to derail. There it is, the nose of the saw dropping off a bit too much. Hung a raker or a tooth on the far side. Now he's lost his momentum, and on top of that, he's in the smallest part of the timber at the bottom of that block. So very few teeth sitting on a small amount of material. Tough to get the momentum going again.
Great cut, Darby. You had the best single bucker in the country, Matt Slingerland, wedging for you. You had everything under control to that last stroke.
Yeah, I just got a little bit aggressive. I tried to, I think I just picked it up right over my armpit and tried to push that disc off, and just bit me.
Well, a complete disc, a legal disc. You're going to get big steel points, so keep the momentum going.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Well, both Darby Hand and Tristan Van Beek own the top spot in 2 of our previous disciplines. That will not be happening this time around. Darby Hand, the best he can do is 2nd at this point, a 13.89. Tristan Van Beek, 16.78. Heat 3 matchup on stand 1. Will Kramer coming into this discipline in 3rd place in overall points. Stand 2, Benjamin Carlson. Ben Carlson.
Been looking forward to this run from Ben Carlson. Really a strong single buck operator. Had some past issues with broken cookies and whatnot, but new year, new event, new stage. I think he's going to be, he'd probably be my top pick to win the single buck today. We'll see how it goes.
3, 2, 1, go!
Liking what I see on both stand 1 and stand 2. That entire saw. Slight advantage on stand 2, though, and a little hang up on stand 1. Oh, we're not going to go down this broken cookie run again. I think he pulled it off, though. I think on the pole stroke, he did go back and complete the cut. Part of that is just a function of how well he's doing, and that's running that entire saw. And you start to run the risk as you, on your push stroke, bring that handle very close to the block. Every tooth in play on that saw. Watch the bottom here. There it is. Bangs the handle a little bit, breaks the cookie off. You see on the pole stroke, he finishes, does get that bottom sliver off.
Man, what a beautiful cut. Just got that brand new KBT saw out of Tasmania, and it worked for you today. I knew you had great technique. You had the composure, too, to make a beautiful cut.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, I've been watching videos of you, and Hannah's been helping me out, so that's been very helpful. I'm really happy with how that cut went. So.
A little broken disc at the end. Okay,
Yeah.
The disc does not have to be complete, but you do have to cut the whole disc.
Well, I believe I cut the whole disc. I just hope they can find that other little piece, and the cut's good.
I did just get the official word. You have a good time, buddy.
Thank you, Dave.
2 contestants left. Final heat of the single buck. Alan Parsons, Kyle Whitmore trying to, well, run down the new national record. Another one set today. Ben Carlson, 11.07 in heat 3.
3, 2, 1, go!
That new national rookie record on the clock behind both of these competitors, Alec Parsons, Kyle Whitmore. They got to run their own race, though. I like what I'm seeing. Wow! I was about to say, I like what I'm seeing on stand 2 when he drives off. Parsons, though, breaks the disc. I think he made the right call, picked the saw up. I think he had to go back and get that last sliver. Here's looking at the run from Kyle Whitmore. A bit of a hang-up on the top. He just ran that saw all the way in. Probably got a little bit nose heavy and hung a raker or a tooth on that far side. He gets it under control. Saw just noodling that log. Drives off beautiful at the bottom. Great run, Kyle Whitmore. Not looking at the unofficial clock. No way. Let's just break some more records today, Tommy. Why don't we?
I'm going to be disappointed with every effort that does not break a new national record.
Kyle, you cut an 11.16 in your pre-qualifier. Did you think you could cut faster? Because unofficially, you are incredibly quick.
Yeah, I was shooting for that single digits. I think the world record is 9 something. I really want to get that because I think I lose all my time at the top of the log. So that's what I've been training a lot, is go fast at the top and fast transitions between push and pull.
You had a quick conversation with Adam Lethgo right after your cut. What was the conversation about?
He's talking about me staying too close to the log because I was punching it with the handle. And I think that's why I had the hang up, because I punched handle into it and I let it fall forward and I had the little hang up. But he just said, stand farther back. By the that, he said, it looked pretty good.
You are our winner, 10.02 seconds. Congratulations.
Thank you.
He is serving as the setup man, that is for sure. Ben Carlson, now you see in second place in the official standings. And Kyle Whitmore, again, a new rookie. National record, 10.01. There's your overall points. Good, tight race between Darby Hand and now Kyle Whitmore in second place. Will Kramer, Ben Carlson tied in third right now. It's getting tighter and tighter with 2 more disciplines to go. But first, these athletes dedicate immense hours to training for these events, but many still find time to serve their community. Let's find out in the Ace Hardware Helpful Profile.
How I got started in the sport was a small lumberjack competition in my town. So every year, it's my goal to give back, you know, and the whole reason that lumberjack competition exists in North Fork, where I live, is to help out the small children doing swimming programs, lunch programs in the summer. So you bet I'm there donating, giving back, and I love it. Just like Ace Hardware, I love getting involved and giving back to the community. I think that's very, very important.
Don't blink in the underhand chop. This is one of the fastest events in timber sports. The elite athletes will be hitting the log in less than 1 second per hit. They will chop the front half of the log using their $700 axe. After they cut the front half of the log, the transition to the back is seamless. In less than 1 second, the axe is into the back side of the log. A 2-and-2 pattern, removing the chips. Then when you get close to the center, you have to be confident. Using precision, accuracy, power, you will drive the log off. Seems dangerous, right? It's actually one of the safest events. And yes, they are wearing a chainmail sock protection underneath their shoes.
First heat of the underhand chop, our next to last discipline. Both these athletes sitting in third place in overall points. Ben Carlson on stand 1, Will Kramer on stand 2.
Third overall and well within striking distance of the lead of the championship.
Athletes ready.
With two disciplines left to go. You're running out of opportunities to go point shopping around here. Carson on stand number 1, Kramer on 2. Seeing a collection of large slabs of wood in front of both these guys. Kramer around first, a little bit bobbly. Kind of laid both of those opening hits on his drive side in almost the exact same spot. I think that bobble kind of threw him off. There's an errant blow on stand 1 as well. Lefty driving off. Wow. Great tight finish between these two competitors, both in the low 30-second range. There's a look at Ben Carlson as he makes his transition. A nice step turn around, lays in a beautiful opening drive. The lefty, we got the dogs on the other side of the block. This is his chip face. Put down some nice pavement there. He's got a clear runway. Just got to follow those lines in. Somewhere right in this neighborhood. Yep, there it is. Moved too far to the outside. Here's where the rookie ought to go back, pick that hit back up. Because he didn't put that hit in, you see him drive a couple of times there. He had to switch back to that side to lift that chip out. Opportunity to shave some time off. And that's what I'd like to find those windows. Like, where can I get that second? Where can I go back and make those improvements?
And I was watching that heat so closely. Although you were second to turn to the backside, I still predicted you'd win because you stayed and put an enormous hole in the front of that log.
Yeah, I thought about turning a couple hits before I did and just decided to be safe and took a couple extra chip hits to get it off in the back, but overall I'm pretty happy with that.
Well, that second place finish in the single buck has catapulted you into the number 3 position. Huge points in the underhand. Keep that momentum going.
Thanks, Dave.
A good race right there, a little over 0.3 of a second separating number 1, Ben Carlson at 31.71 and Will Kramer at 32.07. Second heat going to be Kyle Whitmore, second place in points. Standing on block, stand number 1, Will Chamberlain.
3, 2, 1, go!
Will Chamberlain, stand number 2, can really rip off an underhand. He's got great form, great extension, accurate cutter. Keep his wits about him. He could win this underhand chop. Kyle Whitmore says not so fast. He's around about 2 hits behind. May have done a little more work in the front, though. Beautiful block on both of these guys, just yielding massive slabs of wood. Going into the drives. Wow. Let's go back and look at this finish. Aerial view style. A lot of wood for Will Chamberlain to drive. He's going for it. Wow. What a close finish.
I talked to Matt Koger, probably the best chopper in the United States. He says it's all about knowing your body mechanics, and you just did not like the way you delivered that axe.
No, I mean, we cut so close. I got to watch that replay a dozen times just then, and I was like, axe way behind my head, losing so much power. I know I could have reached my bottom better. I was happy with the front. Knew it was going to be a little bit tougher wood than complete mush, so I put some work in, and I don't know, back was a little sloppy for me. I want that back.
All right, thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Second tight heat in a row, and I'm talking really tight. How about 1/100th of a second? William Chamberlain getting the edge over Kyle Whitmore. Just unbelievable stuff right there. And Carlson and Kramer sitting in third and fourth. Going to be Alan Parsons right there on stand number 2 and heat number 3 of the Underhand, going against Tristan Van Beek.
3, 2, 1, go!
Parsons right there on the go. Very quick start. Should be fine. Look at the slab of wood that just went skidding across the stage in front of Alec Parsons. Tristan Van Beek around to the backside. A little bit of a hang-up. He coming a little heavy on the heel. He's running out of cuttable wood. He better drive that quick if he can. It's going to be Parsons, though, over Tristan Van Beek. He was running out of material on the backside of that block. He was V'ing out with nowhere to go. Let's take a look at this, the second face here for Alec Parsons. Clean, calm, cool, collected. That's what we want to see out of these rookies. Put your hits in, run your pattern, disassemble the block. Nice, clean cut.
Alec, beautiful cut, unofficially in the 22-second range. You just took 4 seconds off the leading time. How do you feel?
Yeah, feel pretty good about that one. That's a PR for me. I was having a pretty rough day today. Didn't capitalize on a single buck like I wanted to, so just went out there and decided to crush that one.
All right, great job.
Thank you.
Alec Parsons came into the Underhand looking for his time to shine in this rookie competition, and there he does. Wow, what a great time, 21.67. Big margin over Tristan Van Beek, hanging in there in second place. Final heat of the Underhand, Cole Schlinker on stand number 1, and our points leader, Darby Hand, could certainly set the stage for a bang-up finish with this next-to-last discipline, the Underhand.
3, 2, 1, go!
Chance for Cole to grab some much-needed overall points. This is Darby's chance to defend his current number 1 position. Darby around very quickly, buries that axe. Ooh, off the block a little bit. You can see it lift up. He steps off, gets settled back in, takes one kind of wild chip blow and goes to drive. There it is. Darby Hand coming off around that 23-second mark. Here's another look at Darby Hand on this switch to the backside. Left-hand cutter. He puts his opening drive blows on his left-hand side of the block. Lost his footing there. Regains his composure. Watch here. He kind of on the nice. Yep, there it is. Just that one little slap hit over on the chip side clears out a lot of timber for him. Comes back to the top, chases in that groove perfectly, follows up with a blow at the bottom to sever those last fibers.
Darby, a good cut, a solid cut. You got points in that Underhand. Everyone thinks this is an arm event, but clearly you are using your legs so much you actually pulled yourself off the back of that block.
Yeah, I think I just got a little jumpy there. You know, this is one of my favorite events. I was really looking to pull it off with the win, but I think I just moved a little too fast. Yeah, I just kind of popped back. I was on my heels a little too far. Felt myself going, but I just couldn't stand myself back up. I didn't take the time to slow down and stand back up into it.
All right, we'll let you get ready. 2 events to go. Good job.
Thank you.
Well, Darby Hand continues to overachieve here in our rookie competition. Not first place, but he will take second, that is for sure. Alec Parsons going to take the top points in the Underhand chop with a 21.67. And we talked about Darby setting the stage there. Look at that now. Heading into the final discipline, a 5-point lead ahead of Kyle Whitmore. That is significant. Tristan Van Beek, Will Chamberlain, both just a single point back at 19. STIHL Timber Sports is sponsored by STIHL, maker of a full line of gasoline and battery-powered handheld outdoor power equipment. Find yours at stihlusa.com. By the Duluth Trading Company, the official workwear of STIHL Timber Sports. By Ace Hardware. Ace is the helpful place. And by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer.
Afraid of heights? Danger? This is not the discipline for you. The Springboard chop, using your axe and 2 boards to ascend a 9-foot pole standing 8 feet in the air to sever a 10.5-inch block. How do you get to the block, though? You have to look at this event in steps. Step 1, chop a bottom pocket. That first pocket is going to be 4 to 6 hits. You will be inserting a board into that pocket. Then you will jump on that board to chop a second pocket. That second pocket will be made in 4 to 6 hits to insert a second board. Jump up, get to the back of the board. That's where you will use every muscle in your body to chop 80 to 90% of the way through the front side of that block. Then you will turn to the back side. You have two choices, chopping up and down, removing the chip, or the new school style of hard downward slices.
Heat number 1 getting ready to go in the springboard chop, our final discipline of the day. Alec Parsons and Will Kramer looking to shake up the points picture here as we get ready to wrap up this competition. Alec on stand 1, Will on stand 2.
Parsons did struggle in early disciplines, but is coming off a win in the underhand. Grabbed himself a fistful of points in that event and said, I like that, I'll have some more. So
sure.
See how he runs in the springboard. If you watch our men's championship event or semifinals, any of our professional men's division, you'll notice that, honey, we shrunk the springboard poles. We're down to a single board springboard pole for our rookie.
3, 2, 1, go!
This is not a discipline these guys see in the college ranks, so they've got to pick up these skills from outside college athletics. Ideally, we'd see 4-hit pockets. We're bound to see some extra blows of the axe go in as these guys learn how to cut pockets. And Will Kramer on stand number 2 got a lesson there. You've got to get that thing swept out, cleaned out, no chips. Parsons, well, with a great board set. Looks level, looks comfortable, looks in charge. Again, coming off a win in the underhand, just carrying the momentum into the next chopping discipline. Will Kramer has double clutched. He is setting that board on attempt number 2 at that pocket. Seems a little hesitant, but it looks like it'll hold. As Parsons gets over to the backside to slash off. Came in a little low on that blow, but it lets him lift a chip out. He's got to reach around to the far side, find those fibers. There it is. Sets our time to beat right around the 1-minute mark. Will Kramer around to the backside. He's definitely done the job on the front. He's a switch-handed chopper, so he's actually putting in up and down blows. Didn't draw a chip on that, so he's going to drive it off anyways. He got the block loose. Here's another look at Alec Parsons. Again, coming off an underhand win, moving into a strong performance in the springboard. Not sure if that first low hit was intentional or not, but it did open up a nice chip for him. Cleared the way to drive that off. A little bit of trouble looking and reaching around the far side of that block. There it is. He lands the heel of that axe right on that point of timber, and it just draws the axe into the block beautifully.
You got a lot of pros around here telling you good cut. Looks like you got a clean pocket in. You won the underhand. You backed it up with a nice springboard cut.
Yeah, been working a lot on my pocket since the qualifier. At the qualifier, I did a really poor one, and so I've been working on just trying to get down to 6 to 8 hits. Pretty sure I was either 6 or 7 there, and then just working on trying to get more power on the board.
Talk about the transition to the backside. How awkward is it cutting with your backhand?
It's pretty awkward at first. The more you train it, the more natural it feels. Still got a few problems I got to work out with it and decide whether I'm going to keep slicing or switch to offhand.
All right, 1 event to go. Had a good day, bud.
Thank you.
Second heat of the springboard, Alec Parsons, the rookie from North Carolina, has laid down the time to beat at 60.69 seconds. It's going to be Kyle Whitmore, second place in points, coming into this final discipline on stand number 1. Ben Carlson in 5th on stand 2.
Well, and if history teaches us anything, Ben Carlson will break a new, or set a new record in the springboard here in this heat, and then, sometime later on we'll just break it again.
Break it again. Well, Alec Parsons, whom I just mentioned, his time, that minute .692, is the new record.
Well, maybe Ben will get a chance to break that record.
Athletes ready.
Keep it.
It's his way.
Send to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
I Ideally, again, we like to see 4-hit pockets. Maybe if it's uncooperative timber, a 6-hit pocket. These guys are going to be probably taking more than that, 6, 8, 10 hits to get it worked out. Saw over there on stand number 2, Ben had a great pocket going, and then one errant blow high and away, as they'd say in baseball, destroyed the top of that pocket. He had to go back and fix it up again. So it's one of those frustrations. You build that precious structure to hold you up, and one errant blow will just destroy the whole thing. You have to start over from scratch. Great looking chops from both of these guys. Nice and wide open, good slope. Maybe even too wide open on stand number 2. Start getting too far open, and now you've got to break all of that surface tension across the grain. Stand number 1, though, already starting to show some wiggle. It's Kyle Whitmore. There it is. Finds those last fibers and drives it off. Ben is going to be right on his heels. Unofficially, Tommy, we're showing a new time to beat, which would be a new rookie national record. Take a look here at Kyle Whitmore. The job he's doing on that pocket. You see him flicking those chips out of the way. That hit came in just a little bit high. He had to go back and correct it. Runs the axe in. You see him shovel out a whole mouthful of chips. Any one of those chips that lingers in that springboard pocket doesn't let the top of the shoe bite into the upside of the pocket, and he'll come just crashing down to the stage. Jumping ahead to the finish for Kyle Whitmore. Great slashing blow. You saw the blade of the axe appear on the front side of the log. Definitely got the near side cut, reaches over, slices off the far.
Kyle, you're sitting second overall. This is the first time we're doing the springboard in the rookie division. Talk about your climb, talk about your chop.
Yeah, I just want to get a nice clean climb. I did my first 2 hits. I opened the pocket too narrow, so I had to open it up wider with Mexico hits. I usually shoot for like 6, 8 hit pocket, but I don't know what it is, maybe 10 or something. But
well, you know, maybe you can show the people at home the shape of this clip and how difficult it is to make a pocket like a key in the lock here.
Yeah, so you basically just want to make it like a triangle, and you want to open up pretty wide with your first 2 hits, and then board in with your 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th. So at the back of the pocket, it's all pinched, and you shove it in there, and it usually doesn't move up and down if you made it right. So.
All right, well, you are currently south of 60 seconds, around 58. That puts you in the lead.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good move there by second place to start this final discipline. Kyle Whitmore putting himself on top with a new national rookie record right there in the springboard of 5.7.55. Benjamin Carlson second in the heat with a 62.06. So Kyle Whitmore making a very important move. Heat number 3 in the springboard, and Darby Hand, the man in charge in points coming into this discipline. I'm going to say a 90% probability of a win here if he can cut it below a minute.
Oh, absolutely. If he comes in below a minute, he's going to be golden. Except this is a springboard, and these guys are rookies. Their pockets can go south in a hurry. And before you know it, you've cut halfway through the tree, and you still can't get your board to stay.
3, 2, 1, go!
Darby over on stand number 1. Cole on stand number 2. Last chance to grab those overall points. Really tight pocket on stand number 1 for Darby Hand. He is up on it and looking strong. And all of a sudden it settled. It crushed in on him. Cole looks like he's got a solid board set. A little bit of a list, I would say. Darby's starting to show some sink in his board. It just robs power. Getting up there quick is one thing, but now you're really doing the lion's share of the work, the chop at the top, with your back foot fading away like that, and your total body is getting lower, so now you're chopping up above your power zone. He's going to turn around to the backside at the 50-second mark. Pretty much got his toe in the hole, as we say. He's all the way at the front edge of that board. Contrast that with Cole on stand number 2, is all the way nearly at the back edge of the board, putting in big hits. Darby just wrestling this block off at the top.
Time is ticking on Darby Hand. There we go.
Look at there's a classic, I guess, tortoise in the hare move. Darby Hand was very quick with that board set, but it wasn't a great board set and just cost him tons of time at the top of that block. Contrast that with Cole on stand number 2. Took a little bit longer, or a fair bit longer, to get that board set, but when he was up there, he had great work positioning, was able to put a ton of power in, was up above the back of that block, and could rain some blows down on that and slash it off. Well, there's a great angle for Darby Hand. You can actually see the pole has split. The band of bark right above it is holding the top of his pocket together, but that was a quick pocket. It wasn't very deep. It was pretty tight. And the force, the thousands of pounds of force exerted by that clip on the end of the board just pried the grain of the wood loose.
Boy, Cole, you know, it's a tough division. You know, the rookie division is stronger than ever. You flew in from Ketchikan, Alaska, got in at 2 a.m., but you could be playing spoiler here, just knocking down Darby in that springboard.
Yeah, my pocket, I just went way bigger than I intended, but I chased it in. I can't thank Bucket enough. He gave us a really good in-depth lesson last time, and was able to reel it in on the cut, which I'm glad I put in the time training that.
Good job, you're done. You can get some sleep tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep all night.
Well, Darby Hand with that 75.82 was giving up a couple of positions to Kyle Whitmore, his closest pursuer. Well, it's going to come down to the last heat of the competition here. Is it going to be Darby Hand? Is it going to be Kyle Whitmore, or one of these two competitors right here, Will Chamberlain and Tristan Van Beek? There's Tristan.
3, 2, 1, go!
Both these guys, as you mentioned, Tommy, in third place, and they're both chasing that new rookie record. Oh my gosh, Will is already setting that first board. I thought, I got a minute to talk about time to beat here. Will is up on that first board. It seems to be holding. Tristan's board is sagging rapidly. Every hit of the axe, that board is dropping 3 or 4 inches. I don't think that, if that holds, he's going to have to get right up against the tree. He is losing power. He's now chopping up around his shoulders. Will still, though, a solid board set, only a tiny bit of sag to that board. I don't know how Tristan is getting this done, but again, he's up at his shoulders, his chin level, and just trashed the top of that block. Fortunately, only coming off the bottom board. He's not up on a 9-foot pole. These are 6-foot poles. Look at the time from Tristan Van Beek. Got a whiplash up here watching these two guys go. It was hard to know which way to look. Will boarded so exceptionally quick. Tristan was right on his heels. I would have bet against this board set 1,000 times a day. I thought there was no way that's going to hold on. He was going to lose too much power. He made a liar out of me. Posts a cut and a new U.S. rookie record.
Tristan, great cut in the standing block. You won it. You just backed it up again with a big win in the springboard.
Yeah, you know, I've been trying to put in the time, keep my pockets all right and chop all right. Didn't really do that, but chopped fast and chopped hard, and it came off.
Tell us how much of a struggle it is to cut that block with a board heading south the way it was.
With a saggy board, it throws all your lines off. You miss hits. Everything that bad that could happen will happen on a saggy board, you know. But yeah, I'd just like to thank all the competitors and everything for helping me with all the gear and casting them using the springboard and his axes and everything. So,
thanks for being here. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, the official time, and of course, a new U.S. record, rookie record for Tristan Van Beek with the 45.21. Getting close to lapping the field right there. Very important to note that Kyle Whitmore in second place to start this one comes in second place officially in the springboard result, which makes it a very, very tight finish. We're going to turn our attention to the final points tally. Couldn't get much closer than this one. Well, this competition is showing us that records for the rookie division don't stand up long. 4 records broken, so the John Deere power play goes to these guys as they prove the times will continue to drop. Darby Hand with a 10.4 in the stock saw. Tristan Van Beek with an 18.27 in the standing block, as well as a 45.21 in the springboard, and Kyle Whitmore with a solid 10.01 in the single block. It is by 1, just enough. There is your rookie champion, Darby Hand, 28 points, tied for second. Kyle Whitmore, Tristan Van Beek with 27. Will Chamberlain, 25th. Alec Parsons, 21. 6th place, Carlson, Kramer in 7th, and Schlinker in 8th. Well, once again, congrats to our winner. He pulled it off. Darby Hand, your champion for 2021.